good morning. Snowy spring. Heavy snow falls over Indiana during the week. 3 to 5 inches could be possible over the weekend. Our team is tracking the latest.
Happy spring. Happy spring. With a snowy start to spring, we'll take a look at what you can expect for the spring outlook.
And
boom goes the dynamite.
It's been 13 years since Brian Collins coined that phrase on our air. We'll take a look back at the viral sensation.
Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. With Nathan, Tanner, Emerson, Katie, and Ballant, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
And good Friday morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Tanner Holbrook.
And I'm Emerson Lehman.
And I'm Katie Parker along with Ballant Salavari. Thanks for joining us.
We do begin with that winter weather that we had throughout the week, and plus the snowfall we are predicted to get this weekend.
That's right, Tanner. 3 to 5 inches are expected to fall in some areas of east central Indiana. Here in Muncie, we could expect 1 to 3, and Ballant is here to break this down for us. Ballant, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Crazy to think, first week of spring's finally done, and here we are still talking about the winter weather. Across east central Indiana, we are under a winter storm watch. This is in effect from 2 a.m. tomorrow until 8 o'clock in the afternoon. This is in effect for all of our viewing area except for Blackford and Jay counties. And again, that's due to this low pressure system. This is Winter Storm Uma currently working its way through parts of Montana and North Dakota. Here in central Indiana, though, we just have those warnings in effect. Just some high altitude clouds working their way out. So we're going to see clear skies throughout much of today. Then the clouds start to work on in through the late evening hours into Saturday. This is by 2 a.m. You can see here the weather is working its way in. These greens indicating that rain, and then a sharp cutoff between the rain and the snow. And that's going to continue to build here. Take a look, though, for us here in Muncie. Note that we're right on that dividing line between no snow and snow. And that's really going to be the whole story throughout much of Saturday into the late evening hours. So we're going to be riding that thin dividing line. However, the bulk of the snow is going to be along east central Indiana, mainly Indianapolis. So given that 50-mile radius, there could be a large variation in terms of snowfall total. So just two models here. This is our European model. You can see here about an inch is being forecasted by this model for us here in our viewing area. Now, when we take a look at the North American model, a whole different story. About 7 inches is what's being forecast based off of that. So my prediction for the upcoming next 24 hours, we could see anywhere from about 1 inch to 3 inches for us further up north above the I-70 corridor and parts of I-69. There's going to be a sharp cutoff, though, again. So the closer you get to Indianapolis in the metro area, you can see anywhere from 3 to 5, maybe even 6 inches of snow. And this is going to be wet, heavy snow. So that's going to be that type of snow that leads to those typical commuting conditions. Now, currently, though, 29 degrees with calm winds. And then for the 7-day forecast, we're going to see temperatures climb back to above average. Average for this time of year is 51 degrees, so 56. However, more rain works its way back into the forecast for midweek next week, you guys. So I know one more day of snow, but hopefully afterwards, that's all. The last snow we'll see for the season.
We certainly hope so, Ballant. Thank you very much. The National Weather Center in Norman, Oklahoma plays a vital role in keeping our country safe ahead of the event of severe weather.
Emerson, that's right. Cardinal Weather's very own Michelle Kaufman is live this morning from Norman. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, everyone. We are here in Norman, Oklahoma at the National Severe Storm Laboratory located within the National Weather Center. And this place really serves as a hub for both research and severe weather prediction. And a big part of their research that they're doing right now is actually about meteorology and the social sciences. So joining me now is Dr. Kim Cloko-McLean, who's a researcher and policy advisor here at NOAA. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's great to talk with you.
Thank you. And so, what is the connection between social science and meteorology as you see it?
Sure. So the social sciences are really helping us to bridge to the people that we're serving and help to understand, can they receive our information? Can they make sense of it? Can they use it to make the protective decisions that they need to make? It really helps us to know that we're doing something that's of value to the people that we're trying to help.
And this week was actually Severe Weather Preparedness Week in Indiana. And so what are some things that people may not know that they can better equip their homes with for severe weather?
Sure. So something that I found that a lot of people aren't necessarily very aware of is how safe their home actually is. And as you may know, people are most likely to be home in the hours when tornadoes hit. This is true in Indiana, either at home or at work. So it's really important to evaluate the safety of that structure. I would encourage people especially to know if they live in a manufactured or a modular or mobile home. Those tend to be the weakest structures where even a weak tornado can cause really significant damage. And you need to know, is that structure even tied down to the foundation? That might help a little bit. But if not, it's really in your best interest to find another place, have another place in mind, plan ahead on days where there might be tornadoes so you can have another place that you can go.
How important is having that advanced plan and planning ahead and having like your go-to location? So if severe weather does come in quickly and maybe you didn't catch the forecast the past few days, you would know where to go.
The advanced planning is really everything, especially for families. If you have a family plan, you know where everybody is and everybody knows how to find each other, how to connect, how to get in touch. It just helps so much during a crisis situation. It's not when you want to be figuring all those things out. There's so many things that spring up you have to take care of in those situations that the last thing you want to be worrying about is that plan. You need to use that and rely on that plan as the bedrock foundation for everything you do during the event.
For sure. And so as a researcher, what have you done to influence communication in the field?
Sure. So what I feel like I've really been able to bring as a hazards geographer is a focus on the populations that we're serving and a recognition that across our country we have what are known as a bunch of different disaster subcultures. So the people in Florida feel very differently about the weather than the people in Indiana, where I also grew up, and there are going to be different hazards that make them vulnerable. And so we need to understand what the kinds of different mentalities and adaptabilities are for those different populations so that we can reach them with messages that really help them and where they live and how they understand the weather.
And you do that research right here, correct?
I do, yes.
How exciting. And you were actually recently featured this month as one of the women at the NSSL. So tell me a little bit about your journey into becoming a researcher.
So my journey has actually been really interesting because I have come up as both a behavioral scientist through economics and psychology, as well as a meteorologist. And so I sort of had to make my own career path. There really isn't a degree program in what it is that I do research in. You kind of have to grow and adapt and learn what's relevant and figure that out on your own. So I really am proud and happy to have been a bit of a path breaker and have made some way also for new researchers who are coming into the field.
Oh, that's incredible. Wow. So thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure talking to you. And as we wrap up Severe Weather Preparedness Week, just remember to evaluate what kind of home you have and all the tips that Dr. Cloca McLean just gave us. So live from the National Weather Center in Norman, Oklahoma, I'm Michelle Kaufman for Waking Up with Cardinal Weather.
Michelle, thanks so much. We'll have more severe weather preparedness information coming up later in the show. And NOAA has issued us its 3-month U.S. spring outlook, highlighting a moderate risk of flooding in the Ohio River Valley Basin and lower Mississippi River, where stream flows and soil moisture are expected to be well above normal. Drought is expected to persist or worsen in the southern and central plains, southwest, and California. According to the NOAA forecast, warmer and drier than normal weather is likely to engulf these regions this spring.
Also this morning, with the start of spring, this week is Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Our own Nathan DeYoung has some tips and tricks to keep you safe if severe weather should happen.
Severe weather season is upon us, and it is time to get that severe weather preparedness kit out and about and make sure that you are ready for this upcoming severe weather season, including building a kit for the first time or simply reevaluating the kit to make sure that it meets your family's needs. Now this morning we have a few items on the table here that are common in most preparedness kits, and those are the guidelines that we followed from FEMA, which this checklist that I'm holding here that is laminated, easy to put into a kit box and be able to follow the checklist each year when you change those smoke detector batteries. But we followed the guidelines this morning in terms of what FEMA would expect for you to need in 72 hours. That is the goal, 72 hours in order to stay safe during severe weather. Now, some of the basic things: canned goods, non-perishable goods, things that you and your family could eat in the event of a real emergency, and of course a first aid kit. If you're injured because of a severe storm, say there's some shattered glass and you get some cuts or scrapes, you're going to want to be able to take care of yourself and your family with a simple first aid kit. Now, if the power does go out, which is common in most Midwest severe weather events, you are going to want a weather radio. This one is battery operated, which really allows you to stay connected to those life-saving warnings and watches that you will need to keep your family safe. Now, some other things that you may not find common that you think, maybe I don't really need that. One thing that we all found very surprising here, on the weather team at least, is carry a wrench. A wrench is important to shut off any types of utilities that you may have at your home. If you are in an event where you would have to evacuate your home, you will want to shut off those utilities, and a wrench may come in handy in doing so for that regards. Another thing that may be surprising to you is that if the power is out, likely some of the cellular networks might be down. Having some paper maps is also important too. This may seem like a redundancy, but being able to navigate your way if you get lost or displaced due to a natural disaster, you're going to want to have one of those, including enough clothing to have a change of clothes for your entire family. Now, another thing is if you are able to get out in a natural disaster or any type of severe weather event, you lose that power, like we said. You may want to have those batteries, but not everything that we have in our society is ran on batteries. You will want to have some type of power inverter. These can be picked up at any electronics store. Power inverters are really easy. They go into the cigarette lighter, pour on your car, and they convert that power over into something that you could use to actually plug in an iPad. You could plug in a cell phone, maybe even a laptop, charge up your family's electronics so that you can stay connected if the cellular networks are up. It's this time of year, so be prepared, be aware, and stay safe out there.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Weather history time. On this day in 2007, a tornado in Clovis, New Mexico leveled over 100 homes, also damaging businesses, telephone lines, and even lifting a trailer into a bowling alley. It was one of 13 tornadoes to move along the New Mexico-Texas border. 2 people were critically injured. And then going 100 more years into the past, I think this one's going to make a few people jealous. On this day in 1907, it was the warmest March day ever recorded in our nation's capital. 93 degrees was the temperature in Washington, D.C. And I know many of us would certainly love to see some of those warmer temperatures today. So hopefully we can see that coming. But coming up, a look at a Ball State student's video that went viral 13 years ago, and we think you'll remember it. Plus, find out what popular coffee company is becoming eco-friendly after your Weather Now.
I can still talk like this if you want, but this is with my earbud in. I can hide it with my hair, but is it better without it on? I could take it out.
You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
Time to take a look at what is trending now.
Can't wait.
Yes, and actually 13 years ago, yesterday, right here on Newslink, Indiana, Ball State freshman Brian Collins became a viral sensation because of this phrase. Take a look. And it was actually boom goes the dynamite. We're having a little bit of a
and boom goes the dynamite.
At the time, Collins was filling in for a sports anchor who was sick. Due to an inexperienced teleprompter operator fast-forwarding through the script, he ended up having to ad-lib. After the incident, Collins' sportscast was featured on television and radio throughout the country. After 13 years, the broadcast is still known as the Collins incident.
I still kind of I shiver every time I watch that.
Yeah.
It's like
it's very cringeworthy.
Every time I watch it, it makes me cringe.
I know. I hope that never happens.
I mean, I just feel so bad for the guy, but yeah, I don't know.
You know, it happens to the best of us, I guess. But anyway, moving on, the coffee company we all love is wanting to become more eco-friendly. Starbucks announced they are offering a $10 million grant challenge to find a new cup design. The company has teamed up with a recycling group and has named the project Next Generation Cup Challenge. With nearly 600 billion cups distributed globally each year, Starbucks accounts to almost 6 billion of them. With this design challenge, Starbucks wants to find a way to create cups that are easy to recycle.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good challenge. Also, $10 million for a prize? Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Wait,
I know.
how much money?
I thought you said 10 billion.
No,
it
10
was
million.
10 million.
10 million.
Yes.
And you two are
yeah.
such big fans of Starbucks. I'm sure you're
Love
happy to
Starbucks.
see
I
your,
know.
your
Our
favorite
weekly
company
run,
doing that.
so.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, we have a special guest over with Alicia Barnarcha for cooking this morning. We're making Moses muffins, apparently. Alicia, good morning.
Good morning and welcome to College Cooking. We have a special guest on our show today, Trey Moses, and we're going to be making muffins today. So muffins with Moses. These muffins are full of protein and they do not include flour, but oats instead. So we already have our cup started with our wet ingredients. So a medium banana and a large microwavable mug. And then we added peanut butter and egg whites. So we're gonna just be stirring this up. Quick second. Stirring. So how's Chance and Charlie?
We're doing great. Still doing puppy things, but we're slowly getting better.
So just a tad of vanilla in here. Oh. Or a lot of vanilla, just depends on how you're feeling on the morning. And then we're going to take these oats. So these were put in a blender just so they're more of a flour. So you're going to add in 4 to 5 tablespoons of this. Very messily. So, any special plans this weekend, Trey?
Yeah, we have a Best Buddies event Saturday, so probably our biggest fundraising event, so we're looking forward to that.
What's your favorite part about Best Buddies, Trey? I gotta ask.
You know, just being able to include kids that aren't typically included. It's good to see them because they're normal people too, and not a lot of people treat them like normal people.
So this past week was really crazy for you, was it? So we're going to add in cinnamon too, and then you add in a tablespoon of baking soda, and we'll put this in the microwave for just a minute, and then you will have your muffins that you have made with Trey Moses this morning. Back to you guys. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you, Trey, for joining me this morning.
And tomorrow might be a great day to stay inside and try to make those muffins, as we are seeing a winter storm watch in effect from 2 a.m. tomorrow morning until 8 p.m. in the evening hours. This is in effect for a large portion of our viewing area. All the counties included except for Jay and Blackford counties, again, in effect until 8 o'clock. This is due to Winter Storm Uma that's currently working its way to the Great Plains, far northern regions, including Montana and parts of North Dakota. But here in Muncie, we're just seeing some high altitude clouds working their way on out. So that's going to lead to a sunny Friday afternoon. And currently out the door, we're sitting at 29 degrees, pretty calm winds though. Feels like temperature 6 degrees colder, 23 degrees as you head on out the door. Now, as the day progresses, we're going to see temperatures start to climb back up into the mid 40s by 5 o'clock, 45 degrees and relatively calm winds all throughout the day. Just a light jacket probably is needed. Now, current temperatures, forecast highs for the afternoon. 50 degrees is in Indianapolis, 53 in Terre Haute and Bloomington. Northern portions of the state going to be teasing that 50-degree mark. Upper 40s can be expected. Now for tonight, the snow pushes back in. Overnight low of 29 degrees, then an 80% chance for that snow to move on in. So let's go ahead and break that down on Precision Cast. You can see clouds start to work their way on in through the late evening hours, and then by 8 a.m. here, the snow really starts to push its way in. Most of this should stay to the south of us here in Muncie. You can see Muncie's right on the dividing line of where we should see that snow all throughout the day, and then by 5:30, some more snow pushes back into the region, and that's going to lead to anywhere between 2 to 3 inches for us here. And then on the 7-day forecast, temperatures start to climb back up into the 50s. Note that the average for this time of year is 51 degrees. So it's going to be a few more chilly days, and then rain looks to play spoiler for the midweek, but temperatures for 56 degrees by next Wednesday. So warmer, it's going to be thankfully at least a little bit
finally
nicer.
warming
Looking
up.
for the warmer temperatures. Ballant, thank you so much. All right, coming up, one final party for a popular Muncie tradition.
And we'll check in with our team in Iowa. That's after your Weather Now.
You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
Sarah over at Camp 5. Andrew and Sarah.
Yeah, good morning, guys. We are live in the newsroom bringing you all the information you need for the last ever Muncie Gras.
Yes, Sarah, that's right. So the last Muncie Gras ever starts tomorrow at 6 o'clock. It's a New Orleans-style festival that features lots of activities.
Yeah, there's mechanical bulls, there's zip line, human bowling, go-go cages, fire shows, drag queens, and a personal favorite of Muncie Gras, the Midget Wrestling Federation is going to be there. And there's going to be a fireworks show at midnight.
Yeah, and there's going to be lots of other ton of live entertainment. You can order tickets online or you can pick them up at tons of businesses like the Fickle Peach, the V, Save on Liquor, and other places. There are tons of places that you can pick them up to go to Muncie Gras, and there's a lot of ways that you can get there as well.
Yeah, there is the parking garage by the downtown Marriott Hotel. The MITS trolley is taking people from 7 until 3 in the morning. It's going through Ball State's campus and Lindenbrook area hotels. The weather doesn't matter, though. They say that they're going to be going snow or shine.
Right, and tickets, like I said, we talked about tickets a little bit earlier. Those are $15 if you buy them before, $20 at the gate. So you definitely want to make sure that you guys get those tickets beforehand. Save a little, couple bucks here.
$5.
Yeah, and this is also going to be the final one. How long has this been going on?
This is the 17th year that Muncie Gras is going to happen. And like we said, the Muncie Gras is happening. It's the final year. But don't worry, it won't be the last event that's happening downtown.
It has done its job. Downtown that we see today is absolutely not the downtown that was here when we started this event. At this point, it's time to do something new.
All right, guys, and hopefully we'll see you out there tomorrow at Muncie Gras. Like we said, snow or shine. I know I'm going to be there. I don't know.
I might be there. This year it's 18 and over, so I'm not 21 yet, so I might be there as well. So hopefully we'll see you guys there.
All right, back to you guys at the desk.
Alex and Sarah, thank you so much. Ballant, National Weather Time.
Well, cold temperatures all throughout the northern Great Plains. That's due to Winter Storm Uma working its way through a great portion of Montana and North Dakota right now. Current temperatures, 29 here for us in Muncie, 31 in Minneapolis, and then 39 degrees, 69 down south in Dallas-Fort Worth. Now here's Winter Storm Uma on radar. You can see all the warnings issued. The pinks are those winter storm warnings, and then all these purples are winter storm watches, and that's really highlighting that track that is going to go ahead and travel throughout the next 24 hours. It's going to progressively drop further southeast, so we're going to see some pretty substantial snowfall totals for a great portion of the Great Plains.
I'm all set up.
Highs are 46 in Cincinnati, 38 degrees in Minneapolis, and 64 degrees in Kansas City. And note this area of blue dropping down to the south. That's
I'm talking.
where that, that low pressure
I'm
is
right
going to work
here.
with Winter Storm
I don't know if
Uma,
Ballant can hear
and we're going to
me.
go ahead and pan that out here on Precision Cast. Watch how quickly this starts to dive further down to the south. And that's really what's going to bring in all that cold air, which is going to allow for ample snow to work into the region within the next 24 hours. And then afterwards, we're going to see it quickly move on out. So clearing conditions start to set back in for late Sunday afternoon, and then temperatures will start to climb back into the 50s starting the next work week. So a few more days to stand through of snow, and then hopefully winter's getting its last laugh out this weekend, you guys, and then hopefully we'll just see spring-like weather finally. So yeah.
All right, Ballant, thank you very much. Well, Ball State meteorology students attended Central Iowa's annual severe storm and Doppler radar workshop.
That's right. We are now joined on the phone by Cardinal Weather's Liz Sefcik, who is at the conference. Liz, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm here with a group of Ball State students and one professor, and I really have to say for this 3-day event, only going through the first day, it's something that's very unique compared to other different conferences that I've been going to. There's a lot of between students and different professors, and it was really amazing. Especially last night, there was a career mentoring program that we went through last night. There was a lot of different scholarships that were awarded to students, but something that was really unique was the interactive radar workshop. What happened was all of the attendees were put into different groups, and through that we went through a simulation of different storms going through the area, and we started to put out warnings in different polygons for areas that could be affected through severe storms, through tornadoes and tornado emergencies. It was something that was really unique and a huge learning experience, especially for underclassmen like me that don't really get to do all of that hands-on activity. And then through that, people were ranked and through accuracy and spatial extent. So it was something that was very unique, and I really enjoyed it. And later today, we're going to be going through a lot of different keynote speakers for different types of storm events and flooding. And at the end of the night tonight, if anyone's interested in broadcast, there's a broadcaster tape swap in which they take a clip of broadcast meteorology of anyone going up, and they help give you feedback on what you can improve for the future of your jobs and everything like that. So it's something that's very unique, and it's definitely a conference that if anyone is ever interested in meteorology, it's great for networking and getting to know people. That's all I have. I'm live from Anarchy, Iowa. Liz Sefchek.
All right, Liz, thank you so much. We have more coming up right after this.
And welcome back. Current time is 8:31 this morning. Temperature sitting at 30 degrees. Big story for the next upcoming 24 hours, though, is Winter Storm Uma. We already have a winter storm watch in effect for a great portion of our viewing area apart from Jay and Blackford counties. This is in effect from 2 a.m. until 8 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. That's going to bring snow back into the region. Here's Winter Storm Uma currently working its way through the northern Great Plains, parts of Montana, working its way through Billings. However, here in Muncie, we're just seeing some high altitude clouds working their way on out of the region. That's going to lead to plenty of sunshine throughout the day today. Now, on Precision Cast, you'll see the clouds start to work its way on in late tonight into tomorrow morning. This is by 2 a.m. and then the snow and rain starts to push on in. There's going to be a nice dividing line here indicated by that pink. That's going to be that dividing line between rain and winter precipitation. And then note where Muncie is according to the entire system. It's right on that dividing line between no snow and snow. So we could avoid a large majority of the snowfall as the bulk of it's going to be working its way through central Indiana. However, this is about a 50-mile difference between areas receiving snow and not snow. So if the system does shift either to the north or south, it could definitely change the forecast. And then in terms of snowfall totals, we could see anywhere from about 2 to 3 inches here for us in Muncie. Then on the 7-day forecast, temperatures start to climb back into the 50s starting next Monday. So hopefully this last snowstorm is going to be the last one for the season before we could finally see some spring-like precipitation working back into next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
All right, Ballant, thank you so much. That's all today for Cardinal Weather this morning. Thanks for waking up with us.
And in the meantime, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we will see you here next Friday.